Hi, I'm going to take off my mask so I can talk to you all. It's Miss Elizabeth. Welcome back to the Rock Island Public Library Summer Math Program. Today we're on session 5, so if you look in your folder, you should have rules for how to play Mancala. But before we get into making our Mancala board, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why are we even doing a game. And one of the things that we might not think about with math is that a lot of what we do in math is think logically, or we have to think outside of the box. So I'm a big fan of, coming to the library, and this book will be found in the 793 Dewey Decimal, because we're talking about games. This is Classic Brain Teasers by Gardner. It has a lot of fun little tricky questions. I find these things really entertaining, but also helps your brain to think about it. And when I was a young girl, before I was really interested in math, I always loved puzzles. And I loved things like riddles. So here we have Greg Tang's The Grapes of Math, Mind-Stretching Math Riddles. We have things like this, brain games and logic puzzles. And you can also, at the grocery store, sometimes you can pick up like little word puzzles or Sudokus. And here we have this book, which is one of my favorites too, The Man Who Counted by Mal Betan. So this one has a bunch of little stories and math puzzles inside. So I find these to be fun, maybe for a little older, maybe 3rd or 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, maybe even into junior high. And then Math Trek, Adventures in the Math Zone. This one is one of my favorites as well. Also, I think this one is probably more geared at maybe 4th, 5th, 6th grade, maybe even into junior high. And this one maybe for the younger crowd, brain games, pattern puzzlers. And the other thing that a lot of people, maybe because there's been a popular series on, I think it's Netflix, but chess has all of a sudden gotten a big resurgence of popularity. And chess is a good game. It doesn't necessarily, it's not mathematical necessarily, but there is a lot of problem solving and logic. So I just want to encourage you all to, come to your public library and check out some books and maybe learn a few new games and learn some puzzles and some brain teasers. And the next time I see you, maybe you'll ask me a good brain teaser that I don't know the answer to. All right, so for some of you, you might have something like this classic Mancala lurking around your house. And this is available for checkout. Check it out. You can come and check out a game at the Rock Island Public Library. So if you wanted to, you could, come here, get your library card, and check this game out. But if you want, you can take an egg carton and a pair of scissors. And I usually like this type of egg carton, not one that's plastic, only because I find it easier to cut into this. But maybe if you had some help with a plastic egg carton, you could do the same thing, or the styrofoam kind. So it's just your standard dozen of eggs. So a dozen means 12, right? We got 2 rows of 6, or 6 rows of 2, however we want to look at that. And I got a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to cut off the lid. And then I'm going to cut off this little flap. Alright, so here we have our basic Mancala board, and you can see it looks similar to what it would look like if we had it made out of wood. So in the back here you see that on the Mancala board we need this little trough, and that's where I just use the lid. So I'm going to cut down the middle, and these will now become kind of my little troughs at the back. So I can just sort of put it like this, and put it like this, and voila. I don't even really need tape because I'm going to put it down on the table. So we're going to stop for a minute, and then we'll get reset up so you can see how we're going to set up the game. All right, so as you can see, I didn't do anything fancy to this. If you like to be fancy, you could paint this and make it look nice. Usually when we have it here at the library, we just have our egg cartons because we're just going to get ready to play. Now, if you were here at the library, and if you've been here before for Math Club, you know Miss Elizabeth's all about the snacks, right? So we usually use Skittles or M&Ms or something fun for the stones. But you're at home, if you can get your parents to go buy you some candy, hey, good for you. But I often just use beans. All right, so you can use stones, you can use beans. So one of the things you'll need is to get the rules, and that should be in your packet, how to play Mancala. So I'm going to read some of this to you. The objective is to collect as many seeds or stones or Skittles or M&Ms as possible. The player with the most seeds in his or her store at the end of the game wins. So you're going to start up with the setup is you're going to put 4 seeds in each of the 6 pits on your side of the game board, and then your opponent's going to do the same. So let's do a little bit of math here. If I have this side over here, then I have 6 and I'm going to put 4. So let's do some skip counting. There's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. So your opponent, well, that you can't see her, but actually Miss Sue is on the other side over here. She's going to kind of be my opponent today. So we're going to do it over here. We'll just skip count again. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Actually, that little broken one I'm going to swap out. So, all right. So what is 24 plus 24? Let's think about it. We can add the 2 4s together and get 8, add the 2 20s together and get 40, and put those 2 together and get 48. So I have a total of 48 beans here. So this is how we're going to work. As you can see, the little lids made what they call the pit, the store. These are the pits, and then these seeds are sometimes called stones. We're always going to go around the board in a counterclockwise circle. Now, this is a little tricky because I'm looking at it from a different direction than you're looking at it. So if this is noon for you, this is 6 o'clock, this would be 3 o'clock, and this would be 9 o'clock if we were looking at a clock. So counterclockwise would be going from noon towards 9 o'clock. So it's going backwards on a circular clock. So if your parents could draw you a circular clock, or if you have a clock at home so you can see what clockwise would be going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way around to 12. And counterclockwise would be going the other direction in reverse, going from 12 to 11 to 10 to 9. So we're always going to be going in this direction. So that's why I say this side are my pits with my stones, and I'm going to be going around this way so that I'm trying to get stones in my store. Miss Sue, who's on the other side, she's at 6 o'clock. She needs to start over here, and she's going to go counterclockwise, and she needs to get the stones in her store. Now that you have your board cut out, we actually want to lay it this way. So I'm here, and Miss Sue, who's doing the recording, is on this side, and I'm over on this side. So these pits right here belong to me, and these pits over here belong to Miss Sue. This one to the right is my store, and over here to my left is actually my opponent, Miss Sue's store. So let's go count our stones and put them in. So what we need to do is put 4 stones in each pit. So I have beans, and I'm going to put 4 in 6 of my pits. So let's do a little skip counting to get there. I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Because 6 times 4 is 24. Now we're going to go fill up Miss Sue's store pits as well. So we're going to start here and we'll do the same skip counting. 4, 8, what comes next? 12, do you remember? 16, okay, 5 times 4, 20, and the last one, 6 times 4 is 24. So if we have 24 for Miss Sue and 24 for Miss Elizabeth, how much do we have all total? Let's think. 24 plus 24, if we add the 4 plus 4, we get 8. 20 plus 20 is 40, so we get 48. So we have 48 beans or stones or Skittles or M&Ms or whatever you're choosing to use for your seeds. Now remember, to my right is my store, and to my left is going to be Miss Sue's store. Now how do we determine who goes first? Well, that's up to you. Sometimes when we're playing here at Math Club, we just let the younger one go first. I don't know who's younger, me or Miss Sue, but maybe we could do rock, paper, scissors, or we could just decide it's my show, so I get to go first. So I think that's what I'm going to decide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up from my side, and I want to have a stone land in my store. And I also don't want any extra seeds going over to Miss Sue's if I can help it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here. That's my strategy. And I'm going to put 1 seed in each pit along the way. And then look, voila, I have a seed in my store. Now Miss Sue would have a turn, and she would then maybe do the same thing. So I'll be Miss Sue's hands, because if she puts her hands in the picture, you won't be able to see what's going on. So we'll have her copy the same move. All right, so we each at this point have a seed in our store, and it's back to my turn. Now if I remove it from here, so I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to take a seed from all right there, and I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that I have to just keep going around, and now Miss Sue has some extra seeds in her store. I mean her pits. These are her pits. So now if I were Miss Sue, I would come over here, because if you notice there are 5 seeds here, and if you think about this, this is where the strategy comes in. She's going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stop and not give me any extra seeds. So that would be a good strategy for Miss Sue, so I'm going to help her with that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. I'll make sure she gets credit for that. All right. So now I'm looking at this and going, maybe I didn't do such a good job. So maybe I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, well, that's okay. I'm going to decide to distribute these seeds anyway. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, I now have 2, Miss Sue has 2, and then she's going to have to make a decision about what's the best strategy for her to get seeds in her store, and maybe not necessarily help me out with me getting more seeds in my store. And as you can see, the more you play, the better you start to think about the strategy of how to win the game. And obviously the game is won when you're finished getting all the seeds out of the pits and into the stores, and then counting up to see who won. If you have 48 seeds, whoever has more than half, that would be more than 24, is going to be the winner. All right.